aka Mama Friendly. I like to do vlogs, cook with me's, planner videos, homeschool videos, hauls, just a little bit of everything. If any of these things sound like fun to you, I hope you'll subscribe and join my little YouTube family. This video is in collaboration with some of my YouTube mamas. I'm co-hosting this collab with Liz from Laundry Talk. I'll post a link in the description box to her channel, along with a link to the playlist that corresponds to this collaboration, so that once you're done watching my video, you can go check out what everybody else did. So this video is a Mother's Day gift themed collaboration, and we're sharing things like gifts, maybe vacation ideas even, just anything that would make mom feel extra special for Mother's Day. Now, of course, you all know me, I had to make a recipe. When I was a kid, Mother's Day meant getting up extra early and making a huge mess in the kitchen so that we could make my mom breakfast in bed. I don't know how much of this ended up actually being a gift for her though, because I don't really remember how often we actually cleaned up after ourselves. But it meant a lot to us, and she played along like it meant a lot to her. I'm sure she appreciated the idea more than the act itself. But we're all grown up now, right? So I decided that I still wanted to make my mom a special breakfast or special brunch that was completely cooked by me, and I would clean up and everything afterwards. So I was looking, trying to get ready to make this video, and I found a recipe for an Italian breakfast sandwich bake that sounded so delicious, looked amazing. It seemed like it would be easy enough to make and super easy cleanup. Check, check, check. So I'm super excited to share this recipe with you all today. So maybe you can, I don't know, slip it to your partners, whatever, and let them know that this looks good to you. It's an easy brunch to put together. It does take about an hour, hour and a half total to make, but the payoff is totally worth it. Let's get cooking. All right, friends, we're gonna start with our ingredients. You need 1 package of baby spinach, about 6 ounces. You need eggs, a cup of mushrooms, a cup of Parmesan cheese, Italian seasoning and pepper. You need ½ pound each of sliced deli ham, sliced hard salami, and provolone cheese, 2 tubes of crescent rolls, and 2 jars of roasted sweet red peppers, although I'm opting to only use 1 in my recipe. You're gonna preheat your oven to 350, and the recipe also says to use a springform pan, but I didn't want to mess around looking for mine, so I opted to use a 9x13 glass casserole dish, and it worked beautifully. I found these croissants, which are actually just 1 sheet, because that's what you need anyways. If you were using the traditional croissant tube, they would tell you to pinch the seams together to just form a sheet. So when I found one that came with the sheet just ready to go, it just made sense. So you're gonna take that first sheet and you're gonna bake it at 350 for 10 to 15 minutes. You want it to bake through because you don't want it to get soggy when you start adding other ingredients on top. In the meantime, you're going to take a large skillet, heat a little bit of olive oil over medium-high heat, and you're going to add your spinach and your mushrooms, a cup of sliced mushrooms, and cook it until the mushrooms are tender. Once they're done cooking, you're going to want to take some paper towels and drain, squeeze, blot, blot. I cannot emphasize enough how important it is to get these as dry as possible, because you don't want them to add any moisture or liquid to your finished sandwich. I chose to season with some salt and pepper. The recipe doesn't say to, but I'm a firm believer whenever you're doing a casserole or anything layered, that each layer should have seasoning and flavor so that the overall dish works better. So here's our first layer, our first sheet of croissant. It's baked and ready to go, so I'm gonna set it aside. And then in this big bowl, I've got some garlic salt already. The recipe doesn't call for it, but season with your heart. I'm adding to it 6 eggs. We're going to whisk those together with our cup of Parmesan cheese, Italian seasoning, and pepper. Again, Italian seasoning and pepper, measure with your heart. You know when to stop, your ancestors will tell you.
Lastly, before we start layering, you're going to want to drain and again blot those red peppers. The recipe didn't say to, but trust me, you want to make sure that there's not any extra moisture. That's the name of the game here. So we're going to start layering on our bottom layer of croissant. As you can see, I've got my cheese, my ham, and my hard salami. So I'm going to take roughly half of each pack and I'm just going to layer them like you would when you're making any sort of sandwich, any sort of lasagna, etc. I'm doing a layer of ham, a layer of salami, a layer of cheese, some of the red peppers, some of the spinach and mushroom mixture, and about half of the eggs. Then you're just gonna repeat, same as you just did. Ham, salami, cheese, red peppers, spinach and mushroom, eggs. So now that all of our layers are assembled, we're coming in with our final step, which is that last sheet of crescent dough. Remember, mine is just a full sheet, so I don't have to do any extra steps. But if you are using the traditional crescents, all you really have to do is just push all the seams together so that it's a uniform single sheet. To give it some extra lovely color, I'm going to do the simplest egg wash ever. I'm literally just going to whisk an egg and brush it over the top. Next, we're going to bake this uncovered until the thermometer reads 160 degrees. The recipe says this could take 1 to 1.25 hours. You should cover it loosely with foil if you need to so that it doesn't get super brown or burned on top. Mine ended up cooking for about 1 hour and 5 minutes-ish. You should let it stand for 20 minutes for it to cool down and all come together, and then it's time to dig in.
Are those huge boulders?
Really good.
Yeah?
Oh.
Yay!
And is that water? Nothing soggy about
Wow.
that.
It looks good.
Really good.
Yay, good.
Snakes.
Oh
wow. Oh wow. What is this?
Delicious, I'm told.
Wow.
Yeah, Dad said to make sure I keep the recipe.
Oh wow. I don't like peppers y eso le da un saborcito tan rico.
Well, I used half the amount I called for because I know you made a face when I said it had peppers in it. So I was supposed to use 2 jars and I just used 1.
It's so good. Wow.
Yay!
Alright friendies, that recipe I didn't get to taste myself because I'm gluten-free and dairy-free, and so womp womp. But everybody absolutely loved it. Even my sister, who does not live with us, she saw a picture that I sent her via text and she went, what's that? So we ended up driving over and bringing her some too. It looked really, really good. It smelled incredible. The croissant actually stayed nice and crispy, which I was worried about, especially the bottom layer, but pre-baking it really made a huge difference. And we even had some left over for the next day, reheated very nicely from what I was told. So yeah, overall, Really, really good recipe. My dad's already asked me to make sure that I put it in my cookbook so I don't lose it. 10 out of 10, will cook again based on my family's reactions. So I would love to hear if you have any special traditions that you partake of on Mother's Day. Let me know all about them in the comments. And if you decide you're gonna make this recipe for your mom or anybody else special in your life, I'd love to hear how it turns out for you. And before you go, check out that playlist link in the description box so we can see how our YouTube friends are making their Mother's Day special this year. I want to thank you all so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, I hope you'll please give it a big thumbs up. I'd also love it if you'd subscribe and click that notification bell because I post at least 3 times a week and I wouldn't want you to miss a minute. Thanks so much again for watching. Bye!